Hello, welcome back.
Hello.
We are here with the final boss of podcasts. This feels like the check ride, right? This is where we have so many episodes, and then it's like, okay, if you get through this one, it's legitimate. If not, you're gonna have to go back to season one.
Don't choke.
We have JT, Jared Taylor, of A Man of Many Talents, TACP, Black Rifle Coffee, race car driver, rally driver, singer, songwriter, actor, producer, MIG fighter. We're going to talk about the MIG fight.
Been in a fight with a MIG.
Been in a fight with me.
He's got pictures of a MIG at his 6. Don't know what happened. He's never defensive. He's only slightly less offensive at any given time. He's also a demo pilot, right? Your demo with the Wet Boys.
Demo pilot.
Well,
Internet.
The I.
Perfect.
The E is silent. Hello, welcome to our show.
Thank you so much. Hey, dude, the intro just made me want to run upstairs and jump on the sim because I'm an addict. I am an addict of the simulator. Like if I can't even turn on my iPad because my feed is nothing but DCS videos, and if just the corner of my eye I see a DCS video, I run over there and I have to jump on.
You taught me how to fly helicopters. You remember we did DCS in the Huey, and you're like, hey, put the throttle like this, and we did the turnabout a point, and next thing I know, I'm a helicopter pilot. What the hell?
Well, I mean, that's how I stumbled upon DCS well over 10 years ago, was when I first started learning how to fly helicopters. I was very frustrated with not progressing enough and, only going once or twice a week and getting 30 to 60 minutes of time. I was like, no, I need to be working on this on my own time. So what I had done is it was right when the first Thrustmaster HOTAS came out. And I bought that combo and I ripped it apart and I pulled the main spring and all the springs around it out. So it was just this big floppy, disgusting mess that, fell on itself. And then I downloaded DCS and would just practice hovering the Huey with my fingers on this like shit stick that has no auto center.
Yeah, I've got a ruined stick because of that too. Because you're like, take that out. Oh, okay, I would do that. Doesn't work for anything else now, but it works. For that.
Really helped my hover though, like almost instantly. Probably because I put in like 19 hours in the first 3 days.
Yeah, how many hours a day do you do now? Like, what's the average?
Anywhere from 3 to 6 a night, 6 to 7 days a week. If I'm home,
what do you typically fly?
I fly the Hornet, the Charlie. So because all my hardware, I have all the Charlie's front pieces, and then obviously, as you could see from a recent video, that's
a great point. He's here to beat up Gonky. So
JT, Mover made me do it.
Look,
suckered me right in.
This poor redheaded girl from a foreign land who was just trying to enjoy her simulator experience and share it with other people on how to start up a Hornet. And Gonky couldn't take it. JT had to ruin it.
Now, if the U.S. Navy took her and her style of teaching and made videos, the success rate in the Hornet Rag would probably be much better.
It's too late, dude.
Honestly, a bunch of people have wrote and asked if we could make more, like just so they can show them in class, like during this. Now, there were 3 things though that I knew, like it was intentional in that video. Number 1, I did skip steps because I was like, watch. Here, not only are these kind of boring and hard to explain, but if I intentionally mess this up, it is going to ignite the DCS world on fire. Number 2, I do know that like the way that I have my system set up, it's not where it is in the jet. So it's like you have a lot of things on the left side that should be on the right, the generators and everything like so things aren't like laid out properly. Number 3, if you do look at the screen in her video, though, she is on the carrier. So putting INS into CV mode is correct.
I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. Well, she's Solomonica. You can follow her on Instagram and probably all the other, probably TikTok. I don't do TikTok. Does she do TikTok? Is that where this started?
Yeah, that's it. It's just TikTok and Instagram is all her.
Yeah.
I think that's all the Netherlands allows.
On the gram. But she does a ton of videos, which she just did one recently of stealing a MiG-29, which we're going to talk about that because I think you might have been involved somehow with that too.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
I just make sure that she has the setting to, do her nefarious AI, What's funny to me, I mean, we have to appreciate the humor. We were talking about this out in Bozeman, Montana at the Ghost headquarters, Ghost Squadron, Jared Isaacsman's squadron. And it was like, at what point did you wake up as a Dutch girl and just go, you know what, I want to create an account on the internet and completely make fun of the American industrial military complex?
Is she real? Is she AI? You just said AI, so we are verified real person, or are the machines winning?
They could be winning.
Okay. Well, that's, anyway. So Gonky, apologize to the man.
I did. Sorry. I'm sorry. Mover.
Don't do it. I set a trap and you walked right into it. Because
I do that a lot.
I'll tell you there is a DCS Facebook group that we're on that I'm in that has about 30,000 members. And I would say the most engaged with post I've ever seen was in regards to Razbam that maybe had 75, 80 comments. I think this video has over 1,000 comments in there right now.
I appreciate the fact that you purposely did things to stir the hornet's nest.
Dude, Gonky, take notes. Like, first thing, we piss off Pakistan and India together against us. Second thing, we do wrong procedures on DCS.
Let them call us out.
And I will give credit where credit's due to my sensei. He is an old Marine that is a hilarious individual by the name of Jameson Travels. You guys might have seen his YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
so Jameson is a really good friend of mine, and he's a great mentor with, like, he has some of the greatest internet strategy. Like, I'll introduce you guys because for him to chat with you about your show and everything, like when you listen to some of his things, he comes up with the craziest things like that work though, where he will call out another major podcaster, but he'll call him the wrong name. And it will cause that person's whole audience to come over in force. But then he's like, I got 300 extra 1,000 views on that.
That would never work here. I would read and argue with every comment. It would. I can't not read Gonky can do it.
I thought today was the day.
Well, it is because I've got like 2,000
sent me a text. He's like,
from
dude,
Pakistan. So yeah, right now, dude. Anyway, well, that's awesome. Hey, she also did the night vision stuff, right? The Wendy's, Wendy's. See,
she took my night vision to Wendy's, and I think got the cops called on her. Probably, who knows? She talks herself out of it though, because she has a very good innocent character that she plays as well.
Yes, you're just a man behind the curtain. Is what's happening here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's backtrack a little bit and talk about how you got to this point, right? Because you had humble beginnings as a filmmaker. Young, you were doing skateboard films.
Yeah, I was just a teenager filming skate tricks to try and get free skateboards from the local skate shop.
And then you became a TACP, which we haven't had a TACP on the show.
Oh, wow.
Which is really cool because Cass is my favorite mission.
Yes.
So,
well, it's now becoming an extinct mission. So it's like almost kind of like we may never see it again in its
tell
form.
us about the war, Pappy.
So, I feel like I like to say I quite possibly came in to the TACP career field and became a JTAC in one of the best bracketed time periods that you could have, because had I slid to the left 5-10 years, you would have been in the 90s and you had nothing going on and you just went on cool cast TDYs and that was it. But I was in basic training when we started bombing back. I was graduating that week actually.
Oh, wow.
And I was on the parade field like cleaning it up, getting ready to graduate the next day, and we started firing cruise missiles at Baghdad. And I was excited. Like the drill instructors and other people were, oh God, we're going to another war. I was like, we're going to a second war. Now I have 2 chances. Like
Twice as much fun.
so went to TACP school after that, and another wild time period too, because the week that I had shown up, or the week prior to me showing up to TACP school, we had lost one of the first TACPs to like actual killed in action. Jacob Frazier was in March of 2003, and then a week after I had started class, we had lost Raymond Lozano in April, and that was another TACP killed in action. So like you watched, like all of us students are sitting there and we're seeing our instructors kind of come to terms with, you know, these are all 90s guys now going, oh my God, this job is real.
Mhm.
Wow.
So it was a very interesting time frame. And I worked my ass off because I was really, really young. I had turned 18 while I was in basic training. And so I was the youngest on the team, which obviously, you know, immaturity and I'm not the gray man at all. Like any formal course or anything, I make it known just because I'll ask crazy questions or make people laugh.
Yeah.
So I felt there was a target on my head, which meant I had to work extra hard. But luckily that year, Ace Combat 5 or 6 had come out, so I did nothing but
I'm seeing a trend here. I don't understand.
I didn't leave my dorm room but to study and play Ace Combat. And so I did very, very well in the course, was able to get, you know, an airborne slot, which was, they only had 1, 2, or 3 of these per class. So you had to do really well in the course. I got the airborne slot and got to go to Fort Bragg at the 14th ASOS, which is by far the coolest ASOS that you could ever go to. And I don't care who comes on here and tries to talk all kinds of shit. I don't care. The 14th was the greatest at conventional, you know, obviously the 17th and the other stuff is really rad, but the 14th was awesome back then.
Wow. Was that something, I mean, you grew up in a military family, right? Was it
Yeah.
a pretty easy transition, you know, going into military life?
Yeah, I
that
wanted
early?
it.
Yeah.
I wanted it. Like I wanted to you know, I watched Navy SEALs. I watched Tears of the Sun came out while I was in tech school, and we all went
Oh.
and the whole class went and watched it in the theaters and screamed at the end during the cast mission. Like
Hey, JT, I'm curious. So your dad was he was in the Navy, right?
yes.
And then I know that when you were younger, you wanted to be a SEAL. What drove you to the Air Force?
Well, he was just telling me like, hey, go to the Air Force because they treat the people better, you know. And that's it. And he had gotten orders to Italy, so they were leaving. So like my options were like, if I go to Italy, I essentially could only do online school because you can't have a job over there or nothing when you're a dependent. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to waste, you know, hindsight now. It's like, wait, I could have had like 4 free years in Italy. Like, no, but I was glad I did what I did. But he just said, you know, the Air Force treats their people better, and you have better bases, better food, better barracks, better everything. Like, he's like, go do that. You know, they have a better quality of life. And I listened to him. I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, because I didn't want to be stuck on a ship. I knew trying to get through buds was because when I had gone in for just a weapons maintainer. So like a 2W01, which is, you know, munition systems. So working on the guns on your guys' airplanes and stuff like that. So I was going in to get in and get a job like out of high school. And then while I was in basic, they came in and pitched the TACP job, and you're just like, at me, you know, as being obsessed with these movies and wanting to do combat and stuff, my eyes were, you know, as big as dinner plates going, oh my God, yes.
Awesome.
Is there, I mean, so the terminology, combat controller, TACP, is there a difference? Or is that
Absolutely. So you have the 4, and I'm sure I'll screw this up now because it's all changed. It's a 1 Zulu career field now, and I'm not entirely sure which is what number in the 1 Zulu, but back then 1 Charlie 2 was combat control, 1 Charlie 4 was TACP. And so combat control is specifically AFSOC, Air Force Special Operations Command, working directly for SOCOM and JSOC and always special operations, and they are primarily trained in like austere ATC and survey. So their whole mission, in the origins was to either halo in or jump in. As we overtook an airfield, they survey the airfield and they become the air traffic control piece to start landing all of our planes to get all of our supplies and people and things off there. Whereas as our wars kicked off, they shifted over as well to JTAC as a primary mission, just because, again, there was not enough of us at the time. Like, I don't think anybody had anticipated that you were going to go to 2 conflicts at once, deploy multiple divisions, and have 2 massive theaters of battle going on. So there's never enough JTACs to go around, because even later in 2009, when I was an instructor for TACP, they came down and wanted to almost double us in size in a matter of 3 years, just because it was like, we do not have enough people to keep rotating on and supporting the Army right now.
So Chapman, right? Was it John Chapman? The
Yes.
Medal of Honor winner was a combat controller, and that
Yes.
was Afghanistan. So were the lessons learned being, I guess, like, was it all kind of like, hey, that affects me too? Because what you were saying, we're kind of all doing the same mission once we're in theater.
Yes, John, like we all knew the Alone at Dawn and John Chapman story, but also too, one of our own was up there with the Rangers. So his name was Kevin Vance. He has a Silver Star, TACP that was on the hill for this whole fight when the Rangers got up there. Jason Cunningham was the PJ that was there that died, but he was on the bird with Kevin Vance. So yes, I mean, these are all stories that they're telling us in tech school at the time, because it's fresh. It just happened. So It was like, oh, hey, here's what's going on, by the way, overseas. Like, this is what's really happening. So
in practice, right? So just to define everything, tactical air control party, right?
Yes.
TACP, joint terminal attack controller for JTAC, which JTAC is the qual, right? So
Yes.
It's a qual that you can get as a subset. But as a JTAC or in this career field, what did you find? You're calling in airstrikes from all different platforms, everything from a fighter to a bomber. Did you have a preference as to who you had on station and who you can use? I mean, everybody's gonna say A-10, but is that really, or
this is
what was the reality of doing that in the real world?
So I was a phase 3 instructor in TACP school, which is cash mission planning and execution, for my whole 4 years there. This is always the first question from the students. Day 1. What is your favorite thing to control?
Yeah.
And my first answer right off the bat will piss everybody off: an Apache.
Hell yeah. Get Casmo.
Casmo.
We'll get Casmo.
And why is an Apache my favorite thing to control? Because I can literally point, like, where if he can't see something, I could say, okay, come over here, right there. Like,
also, there's that Medal of Honor game where the Apache saves your ass is a pretty cool scene, but I digress.
And
anyway.
I've had an Apache really, really, really help me out too,
Yeah.
So, but when you go to fighter platforms, honestly, it's a good trained air crew, because if your pilot has not done CAS, or he doesn't like CAS, or he has a chip on his shoulder that day, they can make this bad. Same thing goes for the JTAC. If the JTAC is being a jackass that day, they can make this miserable. But it's all about how much they've done this before. And from my experiences, the 510th fighter squadron was some of the sharpest CAS dudes in the Viper that I have ever experienced. And that was in Baghdad in 2007. Like, it was the buzzards. Like, they were mopping the floor with everything. And we had the Makos were in town then,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
Spads. I had
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of good Spad flight, like a lot of good Spads did a lot of great things for me. So I hats off to the Buzzards, love the Makos and Spads.
Were you there? So you said 2007. Were you there post 2009? Did you go back?
So my last trip was pretty much I was on the ground by December 30th, 2006, and left around end of October 2007. So I was there for 10 plus months.
Iraq?
Yes, Baghdad.
Yeah.
Because
I was operating there that time.
Off the carrier.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
did you
there's
control Gonky?
Probably. I was in 88 off of Sierra Key 3. So if you ever went there, my call sign was Havoc 82.
I've worked with Havoc call signs, man. I'll have to look at my log, but Havoc 82.
Yep, Havoc 82.
That's awesome. Yeah, the reason I was asking about 09 is because, I mean, you're talking about the Wild West. Fall of 08 was everybody, you're not coming back with a bomb on your jet. January of 09, all of a sudden, nothing. And I was curious, if you heard just talking to dudes, like from the JTAC perspective, what that was like. Because for us, everything that came off your aircraft as of that time became OSIC scrutinized.
Yes.
So everything. It was a huge deal.
It moved it up, but it changed immensely from 2005 to 2007, because even then in 2005, the ROE said ground commander has clearance to up to 2,000 pound bombs. So you were, and a ground commander could be a second lieutenant. Whereas in 2007, it was a 05 lieutenant colonel, battalion commander and above had clearance authority in conventional forces. I don't know what the soft side of that was as far as clearance authority, but I had to call back and have battalion commander sign off to drop anything. So like, yes, it definitely varies and changes. But also too, like 05 was still very, very loose. Like we were still like, I was in Mosul for the last half of that trip, and it was still just a fight.
Yeah. Were you embedded with like an army? Is that how it works? Like an army unit? Like you're just rolling with them, and then shit happens, and they're like, "Hey, Air Force guy, do the thing."
We're the insurance policy.
Call your friends. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, let's go.
Make this problem go away.
or you're kind of looking at him. You're waiting for the nod. You're like, oh, they got heavier weapons now. Ooh, weapons platoon is getting their ass handed to them. Is it my turn yet?
Did you have that big ass whip antenna that, like, when it popped out, people were like, it's about to happen?
I had the flex blade, but the big 10-foot whip, that's an HF antenna.
That's called the AC-130. Yeah,
carrying HF anymore. I know we shifted to some HF stuff later on, but I had a little TACSAT, for SATCOM, but also too, a lot of times, like my Mosul trip, we had a cap over Mosul. So you're just a spoiled little girl right there, because you roll out the gate and there is a constant pair of airplanes above you that you just get on the TAD and say, "Hey guys, let's play." There's you don't have to request. You don't have to, you didn't have to do a lot of pre-coordination. But then in 07, yes, I had to do a lot of airstrike requests, but there's a little cheat code to this too, that kind of reflects the luck or some of my personality. Is the first 4 months that I did in 05, I was in the Corps JOC, and I was the Corps ALO, with a rented SPAD sitting next to me that definitely did not want to be there. But what I did was, for the combat plans division, is I was the prioritizer of ASRs. So every airstrike request, 1972, that was pre-planned would get printed out on my show. I was night shift, so I'd print every one of them out, and then I would start go through and putting them into priority based on the theater commander's guidance. So, and that would change. So like when you go to check an ASR and you have a 0.01 priority, it's because you have now met the theater commander's guidance as to what his top priority is for fighter aircraft. And to just explain this to everybody that might not, pretty much everybody that doesn't know how the theater air control system works, is we yeah, you guys have the DASC, we have the ASOC. So you know, I would constantly yell at all of my JTACs in theater and shake the tree saying, guys, please pre-plan, because when you send up an immediate, you're stealing somebody else's air. And if you all send up an immediate at the same time, only one of you is getting it. And then it comes down to the priority level. So I was able in my time to increase the number of pre-plans by like 15 to 20%, which then gave us more CAS allocation to the theater. So the KAOC then sent another squadron of jets over where we went from, you know, let's just say we were doing 60 sorties a day. They now gave us 75 because I got them to increase the number of pre-plans up. And then that meant more jets for everybody. Because again, like, you know how it works. You got guys sitting GCAS. So you have the alert shack that's hanging out over on Balad that you know, you can fire that up, but if you fire that up, it's down for a whole nother cycle. So, and then you have XCAS where there's a two ships up in theater just hanging out just in case something happens. And again, when you use those too much and you just use them as a oh, I'll just try and grab XCAS, like you're going to get yourself in a pickle where somebody else is more important in a fight and you don't get anything. And now you're no longer the insurance policy.
We would get re-rolled as the TARS, the Theater Airborne Reconnaissance missions. So we were just out there, you know, with the canoe taking pictures, and they would be like, "Hey, we got something for you over here." And we're like, "Well, I got 2 bombs." Yeah. So here we go.
Wow, that's one more than the British go with. So
yeah, I remember the Brits in the southeast where the British JTACs were hanging out.
Yeah.
Around there.
It's in Basra.
Yeah, Basra. So going back, just as a TACP, you obviously you have to be able to handle yourself, right? Because you're in the shit with the Army dudes and expected to fight until it's time to call airstrikes in. Is that an accurate statement? I mean,
well, and rewind that back a little bit. You have to instill confidence in the senior staff of the Army, meaning an 05 and the 05 is the commander, an 04 as the XO, and an 04 as the operations officer. These are the guys that I have to talk to before we're going out, saying, you know, my job starts when the intelligence officer is briefing what our target is. And I start asking the questions. Okay, where is it? How is it? What is it? What are we doing? What time are we hitting? Okay. Then I start the request procedures to ask for air cover. And then now I'm interfacing with that 04, the S3, the operations officer, saying, all right, sir, here's the deal. If this happens, you know, we will have 500-pound bombs. We've got gun. Here's what these things do. Here's how far we need to be away from them. And here is how sure I am that I will make sure that if you keep them 250 meters away from this, we're not going to hurt any of our own guys. Like, so that, and keep in mind, you're an E4.
I was going to ask, man, what rank and how old were you?
Are you the only Air Force? Are you a one-man show?
Yes. In 07, I was a single JTAC with another TACP with me that was of Inkle rank, but was not the certified JTAC.
That's wild,
what's he doing? Like, what's the other guy doing if he's not?
So he is running. He's battle tracking the Army, and he's running requests or like backfilling. So if I'm on strike with who's above us and we're working a 9-line and working a strike, he's already on the phone with the ASOC asking for more. Just, you know, because if we got Vipers, we have about 4 seconds before they run out of gas.
But it's the best 4 seconds of your life.
It's the best 4 seconds.
Best 4 seconds. It's how you use those 4 seconds that matters. But
hey, and when you go with yo-yo ops,
yo-yo ops is scary because I'm a young wingman and I get lost. I don't know how to find home.
Yeah, but you know how scary it is when they're like, hey, we got to go get gas and we haven't executed anything yet.
Oof. geez. So, I mean, obviously my favorite was always strafe, but it probably not as effective as other things. Show of force, right? One of the other things I really enjoyed just because, it's that whole, hey, we're warning you, keep your heads
Try
out.
it.
How is, yeah, fuck around and find out. That's the ultimate, FAFO. Is that something that, you would use in, like in your toolbox? That's like, hey, we can't
All the
necessarily go kinetic, but we're going to
Yes.
show them that we know that they're acting up.
100%. I have a couple instances where it was very effective. One, I like to say I have a beautiful show of force with a Tomcat in Mosul.
Tomcats.
So I got
Hell
to,
yeah.
I have this, which is Cheshire Cat with 3 GBU 12s and 2 tails.
Look at that.
Commemorate the event. He
Yes.
tattooed it.
That is awesome.
The commemorative tattoo of the best show of force. Go on.
Well,
sir.
Yes.
and just the fact that I got to control a Tomcat before it was retired, like that's cool.
Yeah.
Like as
That
a,
must
as
have
a
been their last. That was probably the last deployment.
yes, it was their last one, and it was the
Yeah.
Black Cats. Was the squadron.
Black Lions.
Black Lions. I think their combat call sign was Black Cat.
Oh, was it? Okay. Never
Yeah. So secondly, so I had an incident that was in British news, the United Kingdom news, for those of you
The
refined.
Queen. No, King. Whatever they are now.
So I lived roughly 450 meters directly northwest of the border of Sadr City. And we lived in this shitty burned out mall. It was called Cop Callahan. Gonky, you'll know exactly where it is because right next door to me was the Mickey Mouse pond. And I would use that every day to say, look for the Mickey Mouse pond when I was getting their eyes on to friendlies and start talk-ons and such. So we had
You may have a visitor behind you that
yeah
maybe he's just still trying to steal a jet or something. back
she's
there.
probably walking out with like 4
She's
pounds
like,
of
"Is that
shrimp.
the guy that bullied me? Is that the guy?"
So
You're being mean to him. Sorry, go on. It's cool.
we
stuff.
had an Iraqi general. There was an Iraqi army outpost about 300 meters from us, and the Iraqi general, it was like 3-4 in the afternoon. He's calling on the Iraqna cell phone to our NIPIT or IA like transition team guys, and he's like, hey, the Jaish al-Mahdi militia has my entire compound surrounded. They're 10-1 of who I have in here soldier wise, and they're on the loudspeaker telling my soldiers to lay down their guns. They'll let them live if they can have me. And so these guys are in the talk going, what can we do? And I was like, okay, this doesn't constitute a tick. Oh, but it does constitute a NATO tick. Hang on. So I declare a NATO troops in contact. And so now the ASOC has to give me a NATO plane, which are Tornadoes, GR4s. And I run up to the roof and can see, off in the distance, like where they're at. I have the transition guys with me on the cell phone. I was like, okay, we're going to do this as fast as we can. I brief them up. I give them the general's location, as the target. And I'm like, I need you guys to scare these people away. And and the answer was, right on, mate. And I see this tornado sink below the buildings on this road coming down, and his wingman gets below him. Like, I mean, they were probably, there was at some point a foot away from power lines, and you know what the power lines look like in Baghdad.
Oh yeah.
And he comes over in full afterburner and pulls straight up on their location where they're all massed, and you see the dust and everything, and his wingman follows right after him. And as the noise calms down, the transition team guys are cheering, and like, they said they're running away. So the next time he was out at the cop, he shook my head. He's like, you saved my fucking life.
That's an Iraqi general.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow.
Wow.
2 British Tornadoes. Just, I mean, it was dangerous what they did, but you know, that's what they train to do. They train at like 100 feet. Yeah.
That's war.
It's probably Tim Davies, man. He's probably angry.
I would love to connect with those guys too. Like, I think I have somewhere on a hard drive a copy of the article that would have their names, because like the UK like had this whole thing of these two guys saved this Iraqi general. Like, you know, hopefully they watch your show, you know.
Well, you know, we are
you guys are like the biggest fighter pilot show there is.
Ever.
Yeah, at least amongst my family.
At least in our own circle.
Family and friends.
God. So what's the Tomcat story? I thought this was going to be like you were leading up like this was the Tomcat story. So
no, I mean the Tomcat story was just the fact that it was a Tomcat. Like, I mean, it was funny. I was out with a third group ODA 384, and they were doing a bunch of really fun like little bait games where they would pretend that they broke a truck down. And they would leave one of their guys, who was this huge dude too, that just looked mean as hell. But he would stand there with the hood up and like a empty like milk jug, like he was waiting for someone to come give him some water. And they would be off in these positions, like with sniper positions, just waiting to see who was going to come close in on him. And while we were waiting, you know, they were like, "Hey, come on, give us a show of force," because we had the Tomcats and we had a female pilot. And I remember the medic goes, "Can you ask her if this body armor makes me look fat?" I go, "He wants to know if the body armor makes him look fat." She goes, "Tell him it makes him look fat." And I was like, "Oh, we got a cool pilot."
Wow. All right, real quick. We got questions from the audience. So let's play audience service. This is a live show, by the way. We do that here. Hammerby says, "Cool. Everyone on this podcast can steal an F-18 now."
Pretty much.
Do that. I mean,
just make sure you bleed the air. That's all you gotta do.
I would probably clear the blends personally.
Set the
trim. Reset. Yeah, and trim it out. That's all you need to do.
I did skip those just because I felt that they were boring.
They are.
I skipped them on a regular basis myself. Yeah. If it were me, I'd have skipped the whole engine fire left and right, because who cares at this point?
It was also too, the reason I skipped those is because there's not buttons for them on my controls. I have to look down and click them with the mouse. So I did make this.
Well, and it's short form content. You only have so much time to convey the message. I did like the mill power startup sequence though.
I think it was burner.
Where she just goes full to burner.
Clears all the fuel. It just makes sure it's a guaranteed way to get something coming out the back.
Get RPMs going.
Yeah. The 25 RPMs that you need, that she said that
time is money. Get that thing started.
Yeah. Or stealing it. So we don't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what? You should have had her say, get somebody to get the ladder up. See, in part 2, somebody's got to get that ladder up. That's not something some people think about.
You put the ladder up and then you get in the airplane. That's how you really do it.
Yeah. Newman says, "Was he inverted?" I'm not sure what that's reference to, but yes. If their question is something is inverted, the answer is probably yes.
It's always inverted.
Subi says, "Apologies if you've been asked this before. How close to real life military sims is DCS? I know G-forces don't apply, but what about flight physics, cockpit accuracy?" I'd say as real as you can get on your home computer.
Well, I would say the biggest, as an avid DCS player, and then having done a dogfight too, a couple now, like the biggest thing you notice real fast in the jet is how much you bleed airspeed, like quickly. And you have to come off of what you're doing. like you cannot just be yanking like you do in DCS. Like, you slow down fast.
Yeah, the Hornet in DCS has like super monster engines.
409s. It's like
469s.
Yeah, 469. Hammerby would like to know if your Marine mentor would teach using crayons, or would he consider that playing with his food?
He definitely would consider it playing with his food, but he's still going to use them. And I mean, and he was probably going to catch me snoozing, and he'll shove one of them right up my ass. So you're just going to watch that.
That's very Navy-like.
He's salty, you know?
Yeah, it's very Navy on the side. Renee, TACP, we talked about it, is what the job was, Tactical Air Control Party. And we discussed. I'm just catching up. Steven says, "Gonky, follow up to last week's aggressor question. Were you an aggressor pilot for a while? I followed the 527th aggressors based here in the UK.
Yes, Mover and I were both aggressor pilots in the Navy and the Air Force.
Yeah, that's was very sad.
Was,
Wayne says, glad to see JT on the channel. Thanks for making us US vets laugh. Love JT's drunk debrief and other shows on Vet TV. Be good bros.
So Drunken Debrief, if you haven't seen it, it's a 3-part. It shows what it was like having me as your battalion JTAC, because when I wasn't out working, like I was messing with everybody in the cop.
Well, hold on now.
That's what you do on a deployment, man.
How come you don't do any fighter pilots get stuff on this? Like, well, how come? Like, why have you branched out to a debrief for fighter pilots?
Well, that's kind of what the next phase is now. Like I've been building all of my artwork and patches and getting flight suits built and trying to accumulate some more props. I really need an LPU and a survival vest.
Not if you do the Air Force.
Well, I mean, a survival vest would make it look nicer.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit. Wicked says, hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, Wicked. Fridge, how cool is Red 1 on the Wet Boys?
Red One was pretty darn cool. Like he is the commander for Red Team. He's an excellent pilot, both in the Charlie and the Viper in DCS. And, you know, he's pretty red.
Is Fridge Red 1?
He is.
No, Red Run in the room with us right now.
So you have Gold Squadron, which is or Gold Team, which is the like main team, like our main team, and our number 5 on Gold. His call sign is Wilbur. Will be Johnny on Red.
5. Number 5.
So because I constantly threatened to kick him off of Gold and send him to Red.
What? So tell us about this this entire setup, so that those that don't know. You are the what are you, like the founder? Are you you're the virtual Jared Isaacman of this
team leader?
Yes,
you're the team leader.
Team leader.
Created the squadron and then brought everybody. So essentially, when COVID hit and like we just didn't do anything forever, I started reassembling my DCS rig, and I had stumbled onto Twitch. And at first, I was just going on to anybody that streamed DCS and harassing them until they came and flew with me. Until like after like 3 weeks, we had like 15, 20 people that just constantly kept flying together. And one day, we were all at Sochi airfield in Caucasus, and half of them were just sitting on the tarmac with the canopies open, and I came doing some like full loop into full afterburner, and then lightly was able to just set the plane down into a landing. What the hell was that? I was like, I call that a wet landing. And then that was the birth of the Wet Boys. And what it spawned from is just kind of how uptight. Have you guys ran into like the internet Blue Angels and the internet Thunderbirds?
We've
100%. I flew with them. I flew with the virtual Blue Thunderbirds during COVID.
They won't be letting us do that.
I flew the slot.
So
they're pretty serious.
So they're very serious.
Yeah.
And so that's why I went out and I found some of the guys that had done a lot of work for Eagle Dynamics inside the game, and we got our own liveries and our own skins, like completely original. I designed all the patches and logos. We're the 15th Aerial Demonstration Squadron. The Wet Boys, our call sign is Otter, so we're Otters. And we just started claiming that we had like 13 world titles in demo squad. Like we just started making
a fighter pilot with a YouTube channel that does the same thing, but go on.
Yeah. So we were committing, fighter stolen valor. But what I was doing at the same time was I have a giant database of pilots that are my friends. So I'm sending them patches, and I keep having them post things like, we love the Wet Boys. So it like started to chap some of these real serious guys' ass. Because they're like, who the fuck are the Wet Boys? What trophies do you get from demo piloting? And you know,
we want to compete.
Yeah. So that's how it all started. And then now, we have 4 teams. You have gold, red, blue, and green. So squad. I know the guys from Squadron Posters, so I had them actually load a squadron poster there for us. Like, so
is it just
so again-
Hornets or is it just a free for all?
well, we've got Vipers. Like, actually, like his red team is Vipers traditionally, but
I gotcha.
they also have red Hornets too. It just depends. I mean, we also have the wet A10s, the wet Hogs. So
Wet
I mean, those are pretty
Apaches?
cool.
Is that the wet Firebirds?
If you go to download our livery folder, it's like 28 gig. We have like 80 different airplanes. Like,
Oh wow.
that is like,
Wow.
like we have our refueler is Heather. Like, so our KC 130 has Heather up the side and the call sign is Heather. Like, and then our combat squadron is VFA 199, the Wet Death. So when we fly like combat missions and stuff like that, we're in a black multicam Hornet that has orange insignia all over it with our Wet Death logo, which has the otter with aviator sunglasses and like the Grim Reaper hood and everything. Like,
That's awesome.
So the wet gas, is that what your tanker is? The wet gas?
no, it's just Heather.
Whoa, easy. Have you done any actual shows? Because there are I've seen this on the YouTubes. There are like announcers and shows. Like, have you done some of the?
We've been banned for life.
They won't let you go. They won't let.
Yeah,
you
because we
That's
sent a lot
cyberbullying.
of. Well, I mean, it is our fault. Like, we sent a lot of our fans in to request us on the next one, and they allowed it. And then when we came in a 3-3 formation, firing guns at each other over the center of the airfield, there was a lot of angry
called an
people.
air power demo, and it happens in real life all the time.
But to be fair, the most I'd ever seen an air show get viewed was about 300 live viewers, and the day that we were in there, we had 2,600. And yeah, so and they even banned commenting the word "wet boy." So
Wow. Full censorship.
Can't even. It's known in whispers across the land. It's a faint whisper because even speaking the name will get you. Wow.
But then shortly after that, we mastered a 4-person sky dick where we know exactly how to do the perfect which I tracked those pilots down, and they were very, very very scared when I sent them my I love your work.
Your sky dick?
No, I just was like, hey, I love your work. This was 5 years ago.
Yeah, the growler crew.
Yep. And they're like, how do you know? How do you know? I'm like, well, you know, I went to the top and asked. Like,
wow.
Oh,
All right. Well, we've got more from
That's
this.
perfect.
Does stealing an F-18 involve wearing a maid dress for success?
it's the Wendy's dress.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
everybody's got their own fantasies.
Yeah.
Fridge, thank you. John says, were any of you guys anywhere near the Truman recently? See, there's your next idea is virtual Truman, and you just don't know what's going to happen. You're either going to get shot down, pushed into the water, it just
Or the
fall
ship's
off
going to do a hard
side.
turn.
That's really funny
Vulture.
because the amount of AI graphics I have on my phone from this crew that involves Hornets in the water. Like, I don't know if you saw, I posted a Facebook Marketplace ad for a F-18E Hornet with slight water damage.
Yeah.
Oh,
But we
dude.
do have our own carrier. It's the USS Leviathan, the CBN 90.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
you.
So again, you have to download that livery.
CBN 90.
So it's part of the 48 gigs that you have to
It's
get.
got White Claw on it. It's got White Claw on it.
Where did you find that?
Dude.
Doug is our producer. You didn't meet Doug.
oh,
Doug
the
has-
internet.
Hey,
The
Doug.
internet, it's great.
Good to see you. Internet is forever. It does say get wet.
Yeah, well, that's the 135. That's not the 130.
I can't find the
yeah.
130 yet.
Heather's
Yeah.
I meant the 135
Herc.
for your tanker. You're past
Yeah.
the wet gas.
Dude.
That's what I was previously. Nicholas says Wet Boys number 5 says this is for sure 8 of 10.
So this is Wilbur, and he runs our Instagram, and he will go on the Blue Angels, Thunderbirds. I mean, he even went on that F-35 crash. He just goes 2 of 10. And the person goes, what are you grading? He's like, angle of eject. So
using your Wet Boys account.
Yes,
as the official,
Wet Boys
yeah.
is on every aviation account talking mad shit.
That's awesome.
Dude, that's top tier trolling right there.
That is awesome.
Jennifer says, good evening, gentlemen. Glad to catch you live. Aim high Tomcats. Oh, I love it.
There's some Air Force and Navy.
Yeah, dude, we love everyone. Zipper says, great pencils, laminated maps, compasses are the way. Learn to convert decimals to seconds, know your beacon limits, and that VARCs need bearing one way for some models and backwards for later models. So Zippers was in your profession.
Yep. I mean, he sounds old school, knowing how to convert those lat longs.
These are all words that I know.
That's just for B-52s, pretty much, though. I mean, who cares about them?
I mean, that was kind of a later thing, but I mean, did you ever work with like the B1 showing up? And
absolutely. Like I had B1s in Baghdad. I had a B1 fucking take out every piece of glass in a rental car.
Really?
Yeah, we were on Knitter early 05, I think, testing out the Tactor system, which was one of the first like ATAC systems, but except it was, you pretty much had to have an IBM 486 on your back. And I had told we were in this bowl and told the B1 that the B-52 was there before him, and he came super low, and the B-52 is the coolest airplane I've ever seen. And he was like, oh, okay. Oh, why don't you go ahead and look west? And I see him pop up over the mountains and sink right down to the deck, probably 70 feet off.
Oh, a B1
full burner, and he broke the sound barrier right over our heads, and I thought my heart skipped, and it like needle cracked every piece of glass in that rental car.
Nice.
Perfect.
Nice.
I think my buddy turned it back in and he did the jackass thing. They went, what happened to this? He goes, I hit a dog.
Nice. Oh, you got the insurance. It's on the government travel
It's
card.
fine.
Right.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Uncle Sam got it.
Motor says, who's your favorite wet boy and why is it red too?
I mean, Salty is my wingman, so.
Now, are you strictly the lead, or do you move around?
I like to move around because I got to get good. The lead, but also we're terrible mover. Like we can't. That's why our patch is an F-18 on fire, which like right here, kind of see it's a broken wing.
As Doug will attest, every DCS video I've ever done has ended up on fire. So that's fine.
Yeah, I bet you're way better than me, JT. I'll just look.
Well, recently Ryan Bodie came out, Max Afterburner, and he taught us how to use the G meter, like to call out what G's lead is doing. Like we never even thought of that. I don't think we've ever even watched a video of anybody doing this like professionally. We just try to figure it out ourselves.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, I don't know. That kind of muddies the waters, though. You start learning the real stuff.
Yeah.
Next thing takes you know, you're one of them.
I mean, there's another group.
You can't speak other people's names because you're
too
like,
nerdy.
You got to keep the purity.
There's another group of they're all college kids. They're called the Anybodies. Yeah, this was the original lineup.
Is that a Spirit airplane? What is that?
No, it's one of ours.
Oh, God,
it's upside down.
It moves.
Yeah. Oh, it's tankers. Yeah. Yeah, so that's our logo, the F-18 on fire. But yeah, that was me. I'm now my call sign has since been changed to SP, which is ESSP, expensive sim shitty pilot.
Perfect. Navy call sign. I like it.
Yeah. All right. So Red 2 is his favorite because Red 1 made him sign a contract at the hangar party.
So hangar party is if any of your friends in DCS have to cold start in a hangar and you're already in the air, wait until they're almost done getting started and then everybody crash into them.
Rude.
We would never do anything like that.
We have, we've talked about this. Gonky and I have mentioned that because everybody gets mad because we're like, we don't want to do cold starts. We just want a hot start and go. And they're like, why wouldn't you want to do the full thing? And like, dude, I didn't want to do that in real life.
No, exactly.
If I could just get and go.
Even just setting up the airplane properly to go, like, do combat takes 10 minutes. Like, if it's already on. Like,
So JT, I take it you guys don't brief. You just line up and go.
Define brief.
Do you do the Blue Angel thing
Perfect
where you
answer.
like, and we're coming from the left, and you like everybody closes their eyes? You should do that, dude.
We
The
should.
creepy thing.
We should.
Yeah, the real creepy thing. Yeah. You should do that.
I mean, lately we've been doing a lot of really fun offensive stuff. So like we put our carrier, Fridge built a really cool mission similar to Top Gun, except it's like 80 MiG 28s versus us, and we all just take off from the carrier and we go out and we try and kill as many as we can and then make it back safely onto the carrier. That's a feat in its own.
Using what weapons?
AIM 120s and AIM 9Xs.
Okay, all right. So you're not just guns only, like
no. Well,
okay. I mean, I'm just saying. Nicholas also says Gonky and Mover are invited to the next game involving a CH-47.
Yeah, we can't tell you. We'll tell you on Discord what that game is called, but it is a real fun game. Essentially, Nick gets in the 47 and you got to run into him.
Nick. Okay. Yeah.
That's Wilbur, number 5 on goal.
Okay. That's actually like the actual Nick from DCS. Like he shows up. It's like, hi, it's Nick from Eagle Dynamics. I've gotten to fly with the Grim Reapers. That was really fun. He did a really fun game. We came up with this wild game where we had 3 teams and we had the Anybody's on that one. They're like a really good demo. Like they're sick. They're a bunch of college kids that are just somehow insanely amazing at doing exactly what the Blue Angels does. But what we did is we put 3 carriers about 35 miles off the coast and we all take off from the same airfield, and then once it's on, you have an assigned carrier to your team. Once you land on the carrier, you can now go master arm on, and once a whole team is wiped, then you're good to go. But you're only dead, like you can't respawn once you've been killed by another airplane's weapon. So what happens is we're all full afterburner, and it's like 10 per team. It's 30 of us full afterburner heading out to these carriers. And as you start to slow down, you start sacrificing yourself to like kill off a bunch of them so your guys can get on it's like checkers. Like once you land on the carrier, you're kinged, and now you can fly around. Yeah, it's infinite fuel and infinite ammo. Yeah, I like that. Okay.
It gets really fun.
So Steven would like to know, Gonky, any funny aggressor stories? I know one. We told this with Jared on the show. The other Jared,
the time we got hosed over.
We got in trouble by his people. So we're doing Red Air. You've flown the L-39, right? You guys, you've done a lot of L-39 stuff. Well, Draken's got the L-159, the old Honey Badger. And we go brief with these dudes, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll be back. We can go up to 30,000. This is going to be great. No problems." And Gonky is the best mission planner in the world, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll make this presentation easy. It's their check ride. It's 2 Raptors.
Yeah,
we'll be done and in the bar."
Squadron commander is the guy giving the check.
Yeah, it's instructor on his evaluation, and the squadron.
And
commander.
You guys are in what, T-38s, F5s?
Yeah. It's me and Mover and the 2 Honey Badgers.
So we set up the presentation, and it's me and Gonky, in an azimuth or whatever, and then the Honey Badgers behind us.
Behind us. By
the time they get up to their block, they're doing like Mach 0.3 or something. I mean, dude, they're doing, like
they're crawling
150 knots up there. They cannot. Our range builds so much that I end up unobserved and killing a Raptor. And so we get back, and dude, everybody's mad at Gonky. They're like, "Gonky, it's a check ride. I can't believe you did this. Who planned this mission? What are you doing?"
I didn't plan it that way. It just happened. Yeah, JT, they failed to tell me that they couldn't. I'm like, this is the plane. You got to get out to the air at this time. This is the push time.
Yeah.
Any questions? Oh, no. They didn't tell me they can't go fast enough to make it. These are important details, man, that matter.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, kill Raptor, right-hand turn.
I was like, how is that really mover? Shoot him again. We gotta be sure. We
gotta paint this one on the ceiling with the other two.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Hey, JT, you ever get scary dreams about flying?
I don't know.
Boy.
Yeah, I mean,
you dream about this stuff?
I mean, yeah, but they're kind of. It's always about landing on the carrier.
You too, huh?
Yeah.
Nightmares.
It's crazy.
Nightmares, shaky hands.
I mean, Fridge built us this nightmare of a 40 knot crosswind. Like it's the carrier challenge.
Crosswind on the carrier. I think
that's one thing you never have at the boat is crosswind, because she always.
That is true. Pointed right into it. Well, that wouldn't.
For the most part.
Dude, I always have the same recurring dream of ejecting through the canopy.
In the T7, that's normal, sir.
Yeah, I know. I have the same dream where I eject, and then I'm at a tree line watching this row of tanks, and I'm like, well, guess I'm never going home because he's right here.
I never am like weary or afraid about ejecting. I just hate the thought of having to land under a canopy again because like when I went up this weekend, it's like, as I'm playing, worst case scenario through my head, and it's like, oh God, I got to pull these handles. It's like, oh, that'll be fun. But man, I am not going to really be happy looking down and going, oh, I got to land.
Well, let's talk about, because we've sauntered around here and missed the important part. You fought a MiG-29 this weekend. Tell us about your experience.
So I had a very, very skilled F-35 pilot, ex-Strike Eagle pilot, call sign Stinger. We were in an Alpha jet, and we went up against Jared Isaacman and Travis Pastrana in a 2-seat MiG-29. There was a lot of shit talking leading up to this. So we had a blast. I mean, it was intense, and we held our own. We did not get taken out. So the score is 0-0 right now.
Wow.
Did you like dual floor mort? How do you go 0-0? Bingo? Everybody bingoed out?
Yeah. He ran out of fuel.
The MiG-29 had 4 minutes of fuel, and what did you have?
We were doing all right, I think. I mean, those Alpha jet
so you won.
are pretty small.
If he bingoed out, no, I mean, if he ran out of gas, then
fuel, that's
won.
a fuel mort.
Yeah,
right there, man.
Mort, dude. It's I don't see.
It's his planes, and I want to go back up in him, so I'm going to say, yeah, it was a draw.
You don't want to be like Gonky and offend the man. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Somebody here is trainable.
Listen, man, I'm honest.
Hey, how do you feel about space? I'd never go up there. It's only stupid people go to space.
Honestly, anybody that hasn't looked into this, like, we are so lucky to have him, about to be confirmed as the director of NASA. Like, for the first time, we have a guy that like loves Star Wars and loves space and is super smart and insanely intelligent, and then a visionary. Like, that's the thing. Like, sitting and talking to him for a whole weekend, like, nothing is impossible to this guy. And that's exactly what NASA was to us when we were kids, right? Like, they were like, Chuck Yeager, like, dude, him just talking about, like, it was so refreshing to hear him. He was talking about how, we've just become so risk adverse, and that's what's halted all of our progression in aerospace. It's like, everything's like, oh no, it's too risky. It's like, hey, if you're willing, like if you think back to like Yeager's times, they were testing ejection seats. Like
right.
Hey, dude, you're gonna need to go up and eject. Like, could you imagine that conversation now in the Air Force? Like,
oh no,
definitely the people of NASA will appreciate the briefings with him, because they'll be short.
Very.
We're going to space.
Concise.
That's it. That's the brief.
Yeah.
We're going to space. See you later.
Get ready.
I'm out.
I did beg him to, like, wouldn't it be funny if you, like, had your engineers recreate the the whole situation in Interstellar where you have to match the spin, and like you tell your astronauts that they all have to pass this sim in order to like be certified, and like it's just the most nightmare scenario
Kobayashi
ever. But then
Maru. Put him through the Kobayashi Maru.
and then you're just like, oh, we're just kidding, man. After they're all stressed out, like I'm never gonna do this. Like,
It's a good stress test.
yeah,
To handle it.
it's funny. Do some funny things. But like it was so cool. Like just hearing ideas and vision and everything like that. Like it was cool. He's like the same thing. He's like, when we were kids, the astronauts were like the pinnacle of heroes. Like to us. He's like, I want to bring that back. Like fuck yeah. Like he wants him to fly. He wants him to fly a lot. Like and be the best pilots there are. Like there's just he had so many cool ideas.
So you went for the weekend and you guys flew one time, couple times, just the one.
We just flew once. Yeah. There was just one flight. There was a bunch of other people there. Like, so there was lifts going up all day in the L-39s and the Alpha Jets, and Andy Stump went up in the MiG-29 with him, and did the what is it, the something climb?
Unrestricted.
Unrestricted climb. Yeah.
Or quick climb, as we sometimes
very
say.
quick.
So
Did he invite you to space?
No,
are you
not yet?
Can we announce that here?
Not yet. But
the Wet Boys in space.
Yeah, I did give him Wet Boys patches though. Just so he knows. So he can put them on the wall.
You zap the side of that MiG-29.
Or it's like, oh, them, yeah, they're the best E demo squadron there is. They're incredible. They have so many trophies. There was a shed full of trophies out there.
JT, I'm curious, in your fight with the MiG, did you or Travis Pastrana throw up or black out?
Neither one.
Wow.
You're not gonna. I mean, I don't think you're gonna get me to throw up in a plane. I'm too into it. Like, plus, I was actively trying to feed my front seater his position at all times. Like, so I didn't even have time to think about what we were doing. I'm too busy, like trying to lift my helmet up too, by the way, because the G's kept sinking my helmet over the top of my eyes.
Yeah.
Jink.
It was so much fun though. Like, I mean, we got to fight a MiG-29.
Yeah, dude, I saw insane. The picture with you. You were slightly less offensive. You weren't completely.
Oh, that photo was from when we were doing formation stuff. He was coming back.
Okay.
So
yeah,
but I've got it on the big screen over here. It's now the background.
Have you thought about adding the MiG-29 as now it's part of your Wet Boys team?
Well, the Wet Boys were the night before when they found out that we were going to fight them. They just started running every possible scenario on how we could get an Alpha Jet to beat a MiG-20. Yeah. When you got 25 digital pilots just running these over and over and over, before you know it, we have 80 different possibilities. Like, and they're
basically a think tank. You have a think tank at your disposal at any given time. It's the Wet Boys think tank. All right. Zippers Forever says, oh, sorry, you were going to say something.
I was just going to say it's when you finally come over and make it to an evening with us, you have never experienced DCS like this. And you will be like, holy shit, that was fun.
Oh yeah.
Do we have a good, I mean, it's always fun when I do it. I don't have my own setup. I have to go borrow a jet.
Yeah. Just borrow it.
Zipper says in the 80s that was high speed. Met some STS guys and knew I couldn't do it in their way, and they couldn't do it my way. Okay. Yep. Same call sign on DCS and Discord. Let's fly and lie. Oh, Zippers Forever would like to chat. Lexi says, JT, you need to come to a DCS dogfight server. You'd fit right in. Great BFM and lots of shenanigans if you hang out with the right guys. I think you pretty much are hanging out.
Well, merge it all. Like, everybody's invited to ours too. Like, I jump into a number of others all the time. Like, because I'm just on there every night. It's like so fun.
JT, what is the closest danger close mission that you called in and or observed?
I didn't have anything within the danger close. So, I mean, I have definitely had pink teams where OH-58s are like firing their M4s like on the next street from us. Like
you can do that in DCS, by the way.
Yeah, but they really did it. Like they would straight up go and they once dudes would like hard point, they would straight up hover behind him and shoot him with their guns. Like it was gnarly.
Jeez. Angie says, first time to catch a live in 2 months. So happy to see JT. Watching a Black Rifle Coffee vids and Top Gun Maverick trailer in 1920 led me to Movers Channel. Well, thank you. See, JT, you've created.
Look at that.
You're a kingmaker. Thomas says, evening guys, join late Tomcats. And then at a car all the way from Turkey.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm late this morning. Thank you for an awesome show from Turkey.
Every week.
So we often like to talk about stuff that's going on. And I wanted your take on this, JT, because this is kind of a CAS-ish kind of thing where the UK is now using FPV drones as like a mothership. Check this out. So they're getting in the back of this Chinook and probably not the music, but there it is.
Wow.
They're throwing the drones out the back in flight. And then I guess you can use them to go kill somebody.
Well, you see, my opinion on this right now is we have already failed. Like, because we're supposed to be America and we're supposed to be the best. And we should already have the scariest offensive drone FPV squadron that exists with like the scariest name. Like we are missing out on some psychological operations. I already have the commercial like of dudes in ghillie suits, like crawling. You see like eight guys all crawling through the brush, and they halt, and then the drones go up, and you see this vehicle convoy, and you see it just, all these things just turn in, and every vehicle explodes at once. And it's like, yeah, mess with us. Like
FAFO.
Dude,
yeah.
that's a good ad for recruitment.
Yeah. And why don't we have that unit yet though? Like, and who's gonna I feel like it should be the Air Force, but the Air Force is too slow and too like, oh, well, we don't know. That sounds dangerous and that sounds mean. Like they're gonna be, oh, that sounds mean.
Who's gonna carry the boats? It's gonna be who's gonna fly the drones.
Yeah, I guarantee you the Navy's gonna make one of these squadrons first, and it's gonna be the coolest ever, and the Air Force is gonna be like, oh, we missed out.
Yeah,
it's just because the Navy is all about like PR. Like they're like, sure, use our aircraft carrier for a movie. We don't care. We've never had a problem with recruiting since 1981 when Final Countdown came out.
Valid.
Actual. Well, greatest cast scene, Transformers. Gives me chills. Gives me chills. I mean, there's a lot of happening. It's probably not all right. It's actually not, but it looks cool.
I mean, In the Army now had a really good cast scene too.
In the Army now.
Yeah, with Pauly Shore.
I remember that one.
Yeah. Remember his buddy was a dentist, and so he's like, "You've used lasers," and he hands him a glid. Like,
oh, dude, we're gonna have to do Mover Ruins movies for that. You come on the channel. We're gonna do that.
I'm in
that scene. That's crazy.
I used to make the students watch Flight of the Intruder to just talk about threats. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, dude, this is the best movie that you could ever watch when it comes to surface air threats. Like, this is it.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
So you mentioned CAS kind of being dead, or at least the era of. Is it because of stuff like this? Or are you saying that a dude with a backpack and a drone is now what we see?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's almost like this future fight for just dismounted infantry, even reconnaissance units is like they're going to find you and park one of these right in your face. So it's like, and not to mention like the people that we're looking at fighting next, like our airplanes are worried about 50 other things for the first 2 years before they're going to be worried about in the wheel overhead doing close air support. Yeah. And so I honestly think that like we're turning a chapter now. We're turning a page. And again, I've been out since 2018. So who am I to say that? There's probably a ton of crazy, cool, classified things going on we know nothing about. And some people will be like, you say stupid things on podcasts, but I just think that like
that's what we
this thing is kind of over. Like, we had our moment, and now the future fight is going to be, drones, area denial. You have a ton of EW.
Well, we got that
issues.
next. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. What do you think about that new air tractor? The crop
What's that?
duster.
The
Sky Raider.
Sky Raider, but
I
it's an air tractor.
That's what we like. You have an A-29, and we came up with that. It's like that goes back to the Air Force, like screwing anything up that could possibly be cool. Like it's like, hey, let's make a cool new, high, low use on gas, lots of loiter time, attack air. No, but let's make it look so stupid, like that it looks like it should be crop dusting. Like it does. It looks like a crop duster.
One of the mission sets.
It's an 802. It's a literal crop. It's Dusty Crop Hopper who has joined the military.
The Air Force is just so good at like ruining everything that's great.
Yeah, Mover can tell you all about it offline, JT. I mean, all about it, dude.
I'm surprised they haven't like painted the fucking F-22 like purple or something. Like, oh, it'd be so cool. Like, oh, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
the Air Force does ruin every opportunity to make itself look good.
As we're talking about,
there's a banner, and we need to not do that one, and
I'm
that one too.
I'm saying it, not you. Like,
I love the Air Force.
They're at the Pentagon right now trying to bring back tops in blue, but like 10 times the size.
You know how dumb they are? They put my picture in the Pentagon.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That's how bad it got. Yeah, they're like, hey, we need a picture. Mover. You're up.
You're right, dude.
Bring his dog too. See what
I
happens.
need to bring a litho of the Wet Boys and hang it in the Pentagon.
You should. You should.
Yeah.
Speaking of drones, so do you have that, Doug? There it is. No.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So there's the Pulsar L. We talk about drone warfare a lot, but now
how to defend against it.
They've come out with this. Observe. Not that rifle, because that one's kind of original. Cinematic. Is this what you had in mind when you were talking about?
Oh, it'd be so scarier.
This looks like Sicario.
I know.
Oh. No optics, just iron sights. That's scary by itself.
They had a budget, Mover.
The flip up iron sights that aren't even flipped up. Great.
Yeah, you see that right there is the new like terrifying.
But check this out though. We have an answer.
Allegedly.
We're gonna spell Gonky's name. This is an ad for AAA. I said lefty Lucy. He's spinning that. What?
He's taking his time, man. You don't want to screw this up. You're in the middle of nowhere.
Man portable AI enabled EW 360. Anderl.
What kind of range?
Womp womp. Watch this. Ooh. Womp womp.
Let's just hope it works.
Well, the prototype will work fine. It's when it's military grade that you've got problems.
Right.
Yeah, and then the battery's dead.
Right.
There's only one battery.
You EMP'd yourself, and the thing got EMP'd. What do you think, sir?
I hope it works. It's one of those things. It's like as fast as they develop things like this, they develop the counter to it. It's kind of like, it's us and the Russians when the Russians were built their auto turret to auto rotate to the laser energy and shoot, and then we created the shift call. That's hilarious. Like you spent all this money on technology, and now we're just going to laze the dirt until 5 seconds before the bomb hits you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how war's been. That's how warfare has been since the beginning of time, right? I mean, you make something, the counter, the counter comes. I mean,
I wonder how that reacts to EMP shielding, because a lot of stuff is shielded. It's obviously going to add weight. It's going to add complexity to the drone. But once they start shielding stuff and it's AI, so it's not talking anything, it's just going out and being a killer. what's it? What difference does it make at that point?
It's also one of those things too that's invisible, so you don't know when you actually did it. You're like, I pressed a button. I don't know. Did I do it? Like,
it's like that.
There'll be a green light. There'll be a green
radar
light.
jammers you could buy. Remember that? It was that Colorado company that would sell the radar jammer. It's like the cops cannot see your speed, but you have no idea if it works or not because you don't have a radar to test
it.
They'll find out when they try to start the truck.
Fucking pushing this thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, does it do the pulse thing? No, it doesn't. That was just for the commercial.
Yeah, it's silent, so you don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, my stomach hurts, dude. I feel like I've been in a lot of X-rays.
It's not service connected. It'll save you from the drones, but
kill you of cancer.
The cancer that you get right after is not. But yeah, it's like your point, Gonky. It's spy v spy, right? They do one thing, we get a counter, the counter to the counter. Next thing you know. But I would see this deployed if it doesn't interfere with avionics at airports and stuff, right? Because if it's got a zone, if it's got a radius that you can use, that's probably another place for it.
Well, a lot of times, man, electronic stuff, right? I mean, you can just change software stuff, right? I mean, so I don't know how rapidly can you how rapidly can you adjust, right?
Yeah, overcome and adapt.
Exactly.
Before we get into the war in the comment section, feel good story, Gonky.
Yeah, this is cool.
So CBP ammo was seen rescuing a canine in La Mesa. JT, have you seen this?
Yeah, got bit by a snake.
Yeah,
got bit by a rattlesnake. And dude, check this out. Kudos to that handler. Because I've thought about this when I'm on a run with like Luna, and she's only 45 pounds. And I'm like, dude, I don't know if I could run her all the way home. 1 or 2 miles all the way back. I mean, this is obviously not a mile, but to carry the canine with all your gear, good on him to run him that far.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
But I sent this to Daniel, who used to be with CBP, and he's like, dude, we do this all the time.
What, dogs get bit by rattlesnakes all the time?
Well, no, but helping canine officers and helping stuff. Come on, Gonky. Really? I actually sent it to my aviation division. One of the pilots. He's like, "Yeah, dude, we'd 100% do it." So what I did in ForeFlight was I marked the only 24-hour emergency vet. So for us, if one of our canines gets while we're airborne, at least now I know where I could possibly take them. And it's not a busy intersection like this. You could actually, it's a parking lot you can just land in. But
that's cool.
Yeah. JT, you a dog guy?
I mean, I had one when I was a kid.
All right, I'm just asking a question. All right.
I just have one, like that's it. That was it.
Just the one. You just have the one dog.
Yeah, I can't replace her.
Never
replace her.
Once Lassie's gone, that's it.
Yeah. You're never gonna compare, so why even try?
That's kind of how I feel, man. I've only had one dog.
Yeah, see, I'm good with that.
I still have.
Wicked would like to know if you can call in Broke Arrow. What is Broke Arrow?
Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow.
Essentially, you're being overran.
No, Broke Arrow is what we are.
Oh,
as a country, we're just broke.
We're just broke.
We don't have enough. Anyway, at the end of the fiscal year, you're Broke Arrow.
No, you just lie to the pilot, Wicked. Like you're like, how far are you away? To 700 meters. It's fine.
Send it.
There's a very famous cast control, like the most famous one that everybody's heard. That's one of my best friends. And you hear him in that control. He goes, confirm. How far are you from that? He goes, 800 meters. So just lie, man. Just lie. It's fine.
Integrity. Service before self. John says, JT, thanks to you and everyone at Black Rifle Coffee for your support of Leo's and law enforcement causes. Love the Thin Blue Line blend.
Absolutely, John. I mean, I would like to say we are one of the only publicly traded corporations to our size that still openly, actively support all police officers.
Nice.
Excellent. I appreciate that. Garrett says, what's up? Marine Corps already has FPV drones integrated in the infantry and reconnaissance battalion. Saw a demo at Lejeune and learned about it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it's not a unit.
It's not a squadron.
It should be a squadron of just death machines with an evil patch. And like, dude, we gotta take a page out of Enemy at the Gates. Like, we never.
Yes, psychological component.
We should have done that in both of these wars with pilots too. We should have created. It could have been a fictional person, but if we were spreading propaganda that like this pilot, this A-10 guy is like the craziest, scariest,
the ghost of Kiev,
the ghost of Kiev,
the ghost of
but that was the ghost of Kiev was created by like the internet's greatest troll, Sam Hyde.
Yeah.
Well, Sam Hyde was the ghost of Kiev for a while. It was his picture.
Which is God, he's so good.
Oh man. The next one you should, in fact, you should be the ghost of Pakistan.
Ooh.
Oh, dude. Or India.
Hey, India's got a whole carrier full of MiG-29s.
Yeah.
Zipper says it will use Javelin batteries, referring back to the Anduril thing. Have you used Javelin batteries?
No, but I imagine they're probably hard to get and hard to find. And they don't fit in anything.
Don't last.
But a Javelin.
5 minutes.
And somebody grabbed the tow missile battery when you get out there. Oh fuck! This is even, the drones are coming. We don't even have a battery. Grab the tow missile battery.
Max says, I see a device with non-replaceable battery and you have to call the manufacturer for support. Also, what about the fiber optic drones?
Yeah, the fiber optic. They're running the ones with the fiber optics now. That's just command wire.
JT, did you work with, I know they're not really drones, but like UAVs or the Predators and stuff?
Yeah. Global Hawks, Predators. Reapers were new when I like kind of left the combat, because I went to instruct at the end of 2008, so I was locked in the schoolhouse for 4 years. So that's kind of when the Reapers like really turned it on. Was like,
did you guys integrate that in your training that you were giving the students?
Oh yeah. Everything, like we were up to date with platforms and everything like that. And then when I left the schoolhouse, I went to the 7th ASOS, which is in El Paso, Fort Bliss, and the Reaper training unit is up in Alamogordo at White Sands. And
that's where you set your roots, right? Texas.
Yeah, I'm north of San Antonio now.
Yeah. Is that where kind of all the stuff got started for your? I mean, so walk me through this. How did we go from the Air Force to where we're sitting right now?
Knowing how to use a camera and edit, and knowing trends on the internet. So, in El Paso, in the early days, and using Facebook. I mean, the early days using forums. I was one of the administrators on the MySpace Air Force group that had like 600,000 people in it.
Really?
So like I've been like,
what song did you choose for your MySpace page?
Probably something Blink 182. I'm wearing the shirt right now.
All the small things.
Yeah, pretty much. Perfect. So yeah, it was then like in 2012, 13, there was only a couple, there was just a few t-shirt companies, but they were very moto, very like, I'm so cool, I kill people. And I met Matt Best and was like, dude, let's just make fun of ourselves. We have cooler resumes than some of these other guys that are putting out these shirts. and we're just not gonna like just be, oh, we're so cool. It's just gonna be like jokes and stuff like that. So we would do shit like a porta potty that says Joe's Jack Shack, or like the Iraqi taxi, which is like that white and orange sedan. Like so we just did a lot of funny stuff, and it resonated with everybody because comedy just resonates. Like when you make fun of everything. What
was it like at the beginning where people were like, hey, I saw your video, and you're like, oh, like, was there ever that moment where you're just like, you watched it?
I mean, I
still just like, hell yeah, let's do this.
No, I mean, I still am. Like, there's people are like, oh my God, I heard your podcast the other day. I go, well, why? I almost feel guilty that I like wasted their time.
This ain't the news or nothing.
Me and Luber feelings.
Yeah.
Well, you listen to that?
What's wrong with you? I mean, so you started getting very successful, was that something that you're like, hey, we can do something with this, or was it just fun at the beginning and you just
No,
wanted
no,
to
no. I
have
mean,
fun with it?
it was, Article 15 had grossed $1 million by its 10th month. And
Oh, we didn't do that, Gonky.
I was at E5. Like, so Matt and I are looking at each other like, we don't have to like do our real jobs.
What are we doing here?
Yeah. And, at the time, though, as I was talking to a lot of the TACP leadership, I wanted to take on recruiting because we had none. Like, and so, yeah, the CFM at the time had let me Palace Chase into the guard, under the guise of like, hey, go get attention. Because, I had to fight that battle in like 2010, 11, and 12, where it was a lot of the ideology of, quiet professional and old school guys that didn't understand the internet. But every time that they brought this up to me, JT, you got to stop putting all this shit on the internet. Don't put that out. Don't put that out. What are you doing? What are you doing? And I'd go, hey man, do you know what Congress people say when Navy SEALs want more money? They say yes. All right. We are never going to get what we need, and we're never going to get the training pipeline that we require, and we're never going to get the equipment that we need to do our jobs if nobody knows that we exist. So like, I have to keep doing this. Like, and then, there was a point in the mid, like 2016, 17, 18, the schoolhouse was querying people that came in. How did you hear TACP? It was like 95% of guys that were coming in heard of it because of me on Drinking Bros and on Art 15 and everything like that. So it was like, that was my goal. Hey, this career field is so cool. Like, you have the front row seat of the entire work that everybody in the Air Force does. Everybody in the Air Force works towards putting a combat load of munitions on an airplane and sending it to war to deliver those munitions. And I get the front seat of this show. Yet nobody knows that this job exists.
That is awesome. So was recruiting supportive, or were they like did you have like supportive factions and the brass that's like, hey, no?
The numbers backed it up, but recruiting commands and things like that, they, I have done a lot of just free consulting for the recruiting squadron that handles Air Force Special Warfare. I've done stuff for the Pentagon. I was trying really, really hard a couple years, like 4 years back. Like, I really wanted to teach the service enlisted leads like how to message to the force, because why is it that I can speak to more of the enlisted force than the sergeant major of the Army? Like, you guys need to learn, like, and your public affairs people that are E4, E5s, like, they don't know this. Like when you go out and like someone is like, oh, I'm a social media expert. Okay, show me a Facebook page that you built that has over 100,000 followers. Oh, you don't? Then how are you a social media expert? Like, it's like the people that are successful at this, you need to learn from them. And so, you had the number speaking for itself, but again, you're still fighting a lot of old school ideology, old school money spending. Oh, we have to have sign off by 80 different people. And again, it comes back to the risk adverseness. Like, why can't the US Navy like make a bet with me that I could start an F-18 and fly it around and land it? Like, that, let's just do that. Like, that would get a lot of views.
But why not?
But why not?
Why isn't it possible?
If it is a 2-seater, JT, it'd be totally safe because the dude in the back could be your insurance policy.
Yeah, see, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's make that bet. Let's make a bet. Like, hey, if I lose, I got to donate a bunch of money to, the sailor's lipstick,
Dude, that would get a ton of
of like, hey, I'm making a bet with the squadron commander. I think, okay, I have nothing but sim time in an F-18.
Dude,
now let me see if I can do this correctly.
The entire weight of the DCS world would be on your shoulders, dude. If you if you failed, the tears. I mean, it would be, but if you succeeded,
and I will call out what I'm going to do first, so I don't hurt anything.
I say you just go.
Yeah, you're right. I should just get in the next air show. Just throw the battery on and let's go.
I love it. let's just do it. See what happens. I mean, at this point, you just buy your own F-18. The Australians are getting rid of them. I mean,
Yeah, but that's an expensive. That's a lot of gas.
Yeah.
I watched my buddy fill up a Super Hornet in Dallas, and I was like, ugh.
so the YouTube stuff turned into businesses, which turned into Black Rifle Coffee. How did we go from shirts and YouTube to coffee? What was the
Well, we were
genesis of
working
that?
with Evan Hafer. Like we were doing a bunch of projects with him. He had a bunch of different. Also, we were like saying yes to everything at the time. Like, if you were like, I have this business idea, we go, all right, let's go. Like, because we knew how to, I had all the equipment to do photography, graphics. Like, I don't know. I wish I could shift my camera this way. You could see the whole studio I'm working on. A very fun secret project that I'll send you that you both are going to love. It's fighter related stuff.
Nice.
So I have this badass logo of a weasel that I'm working on right now.
Nice.
So it was like we would say yes to whatever because the hard part, I'm good at the hard part, like knowing how to find where the people that want your service or product, and then figuring out how to speak to them and speak their language and authentically engage with them and show them that we're making nice things. At the end of the day, like our motto, myself, Matt, and Evan have always said, we make things that we want. Like we make things that like we would buy. So like, we're like, oh, that's fucking cool. All right. Yeah, let's make that. So Evan, eventually was like, hey, I've spent my whole, my whole adult life, like as a hobby, just studying coffee. We're like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, I study coffee. We're like, what does that mean? You study coffee? Like you're staring at coffee? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, dumbass. Like I ordered green beans from all over the world and I roast them different ways. And when I come up with really good roasts, I write them down. He has this book, full of fucking roasts. That's all he did for like 10 years was like study coffee. Like, and that's kind of a testament too to a lot of the copycats that came after us thinking like, oh, look, these guys just did coffee. I'm going to do coffee too. Dude, we're not just a bag. Like we had a guy who like is as obsessed with that I am with DCS with coffee, like, and that's what he did. And like he's obsessed with the entire coffee experience. Like he's a Q grader. Like there's very few Q graders in the country. Like he's put himself through these things because he loves it. Like so that's why like the product spoke for itself. We had originally launched 300 bags through Article 15 for a Black Friday sale, and they sold through. And then I kept getting customer service emails of, hey, I bought this because the bag was cool, but this is actually like the best coffee I've ever had. And I would just forward that email to Evan. And after like 80 of them, he's like, well, we should start a coffee company. I'm like, I'm in.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I remember him sending me the logo, the reticle logo, and instantly like that was the first logo that I had seen in my ecosystem that I saw as almost like a Nike brand, like almost like that's big league. That's big league. Like Art 15's logo was cool, but it's not Nike. Like, and then I saw that BRCC reticle. I was like, oh, that's Nike. Fuck.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
JT, are you a coffee drinker?
I mean, Evan turned me into one. I'm not like the obsessive one, but I definitely can tell good from bad now. And I do like make it his way and stuff like that religiously, a lot more than I used to. But then, Matt spent the last year working on the energy drink, that we just launched. And there's a commercial that goes up on Wednesday. That's really cool that I'm flying a C-130. So you guys are going to like that.
Gonky would especially like that.
Ah, boy. Here we go. Buckle up, JT. Here we go.
Where's old Gonky right here?
Yep.
Yeah, there he is.
There he is.
He loves him some.
Was this your pilot? Was this your pilot, sir?
Man, the C-130 has never looked so good.
Yeah, that guy right there.
It's never been such a lethal weapon as that one picture.
I don't know what. Now I got it.
There it is.
That's it. Sorry, I keep those just on standby just in case we need them.
Rapid fire.
That is awesome. And you're not just doing coffee; you're doing all the things. is the school yours for the driving, or is it just something you
No.
were a big part of?
that's just one of my really good friends, Texas Dave. It's
Gotcha.
rally ready. It's outside of Austin. If you want to learn how to drive a rally car, by all means, go do it. It's
Yeah.
fun. It'll improve your like survivability in a vehicle like forever. Because
Yeah.
once you learn how to manipulate, a vehicle like that, like it applies every day. Like it also will just make you react differently if something happens.
Now, did you go get any of your FAA certs? Are you working on that? Are you going to is that the plan moving forward, is to fly?
I'm thinking about it. I don't know yet. I mean, I went through ground school. I've done quite a few like instructor led flights. And then of course I've talked myself into probably a couple 100 hours of flying different things with somebody next to me. people just let me fly, you know?
Well, I mean, you're pretty, I mean, not pretty, you're 100% dialed in with most of the most famous YouTubers out there. Like, have you like Diesel Dave? Is it Diesel Dave? Yeah. Diesel Dave has got the Black
Dave
Hawk.
Sparks. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got the Black Hawk. I mean, that seems like stuff that would be in your wheelhouse, is a damn Black Hawk or a Cobra, or, something cool. Cause you've done the Little Bird. You've had a lot of time.
Yeah.
Which he's awesome, by the way.
Yes. Yes. Pilot X is
Pilot X is, I've talked to him. He helped us. He's helping us get our OH6
Hell yeah.
airborne. He is directly helping us.
Yeah, because he has 19 hangars full of parts. You're probably like, I need this. He's like, oh yeah, I got 80 of them.
He's an expert. And he's such a nice guy. Yeah. Like, he's just like, oh yeah.
Oh, Mover.
Yeah.
How you doing, bud?
Yeah, he's so cool. But I mean, you've been doing this. I mean, you guys have done some amazing stuff with him and with helicopters. And you talked about, flying helicopters in DCS. I mean, is it something that, you've thought about, like, hey dude, we can outdo the Black Hawk?
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm weird because like, I like the sim. Like, I like flying for real,
but you could do both.
Agreed. But also, I just have to walk upstairs when I want to do this. And when I want to shut it off, I just shut it off. Like,
and if I don't sweat, there's no sweating.
And if I wreck it,
hold on. All right. Look, this is sounding a whole lot like a porn addiction. And maybe we need to have an intervention, because it's like, this is, I mean, the real thing is always better.
It is and isn't. Like, it's kind of like because again, like, when I walk upstairs, I have like 30 of my best friends in my ears, and we're all like just hanging out and having fun and like doing this weird thing. Like, why do I know so much about a fucking F-18 radar? Like, like it's just silly. Valid. But also too, like, it comes down to this. Like, I just have a weird, like way of looking at things. It's like I've really throttled back on racing, because it's like the logistics and the time that it takes to just get my rally car to the race, and then prep for the race, and then pay to enter the race, and then I've got to pay the SCCA or whoever's administering the race, and then I do the race, and then I break something, and now it's $12,000 in 4.5 months to get fixed, because there's only 4 people that can fix rally cars in the country. And so, like, when you start adding all this up, it's like, man, okay, so I'm spending all of this money, and like this one event that was for one day now stalled me 5 to 6 months, and it cost me this much money. That's why I go back. Hey, I just walk upstairs and I turn it on.
Do you do iRacing too? Like, do you sim race?
No, I just don't. I don't like the. I don't feel the, like, with flying, I feel like you can fly on the sim and you go get in an aircraft and you've gotten better. With driving in a sim, it doesn't correlate unless you're just using it to memorize a course. I don't feel like maybe other people might be different. I don't feel like it improves me at all. So that's why I converted my rally sim to a Viper that gets delivered on Wednesday.
Oh, nice. Nice. Oh,
I'll send you a picture of it. I got that badass Viper stick with the whole front.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was trade I had all the really nice like Fantech auto parts. I just, hey, make this F-16 now.
All right. Well, Gonky, there's an air war. It's a ceasefire between India and Pakistan. And there's a lot of claims recently. I did a video today. It's got 500,000 views already about the...
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's like today. So Pakistan has claimed 5 kills, one being a MiG-29, a Rafale, Su-30, a drone.
Yep.
And I don't remember the other one. But Doug, you got an article. We were going to cover that real quick. The biggest thing is, so they did an operation, and then India actually struck the airbase in Pakistan and claims they have a kill, but nothing has been really confirmed. There's a couple pictures of stuff, but they think it might be the first use of a PL-15 air-to-air missile, which is obviously the long-range Chinese missile. They're using the PL-15E, but the J-10 is Chinese, and then the JF-17 is obviously both. It's a joint thing. They have F-16s, but I don't think they used it. But there's a lot of trash talking between both sides. And Gonky, I wanted to get your opinion on this because, I've obviously made a couple videos about it, and JT as well. I mean, 3 sides to every story, or what do you think's going on here?
Well, like we covered the GF-17 last week, they got shot.
Turned out to be false. Yeah,
right.
That turned out to be fake news.
Right. So in kind of in unusual fashion, I was trying to get a little bit smarter for this show because I knew we were going to talk about the India-Pakistan thing, and I know it's a very charged crowd.
Very, very charged.
Very charged. Yes. So, I watched the 8-minute video that you kind of made your video on, and then the defense minister too for Pakistan was on as well, and I listened to the Indian the generals. I think they're the flag officers talking. And it's kind of apparent to me, man, that like you said, it's really hard to sift through the truth and not the truth. As far as evidence, as 5 kills, right? Like you said, man, the Rafale and the flanker.
I think 2 Rafales is kind of what they're going with.
Yeah,
and there's wreckage of the Su-30 somewhere.
But there's no. I mean, I searched the interwebs. There's no pictures, but on the flip side, I mean, we've all 3 been in combat, and it's not like you don't want the whole world knowing real time what's going on or what the score is, right? So it may be part of the tactics to just throw a bunch of stuff out there to get people charged up. Maybe there's a narrative that each side is trying to work, but just looking at the flying side as an operator, as a pilot, like the video that the 8-minute video of the was he the vice marshal of the
it was he was basically their spokesperson for
he's
very well spoken, very up to date. Dude, it sounded like I was listening to a joint ACSC, Air Command and Staff College, because he's talking multi-domain, he's talking centers of gravity, he's talking. I'm like, dude, I just did a paper on this.
Yeah, he's
well educated.
I did some research. He's a Mirage pilot, so he knows what he's talking about, like with fighter tactics and stuff. And the 2 questions I guess I had in my mind was, they played I don't know if you guys heard the audio of the Indian Rafale.
The Godzilla 4. Godzilla 4 sees smoke in the air, or sees an explosion, but they don't elaborate. It's not like, hey, Godzilla 3's down. It's just explosion.
Well, I mean, I guess secure is not working for the Indians. Like why would you divulge that? If you were, I don't know. I'm sitting there thinking like okay, so they're revealing now that they can hack their comms, because he literally said, he's like, if I can hear one, I can hear them all. And I thought, I don't know if that's something you would want the enemy to know. So that was a question in my mind of maybe,
you mean the Pakistanis are telling the Indians that
you know what I'm saying? If you're an Indian fighter pilot, you're like, wait a minute, they can hear us. It's like, I thought this scramble, whatever they use, works.
We need a new kick. We need the new codes.
Sevi and Mickey, you did it wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's probably what happened is they didn't link up secure. So like, all right, you know what? we're just going open because we're not crossing the border anyway.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. So at least per his brief, it looks like neither side was willing to cross each other's border, which would indicate they had both sides have a very defensive mindset, which usually puts you in a pretty safe frame of mind as far as no blue losses basically. And I just the Indians losing 5 airplanes,
5 to 7,
5 to 7 in that posture with those airplanes definitely raises an eyebrow. Now, sorry,
I was gonna say without shooting back. That's the
other
thing.
Right, exactly. And then the real thing was, or not the real thing, their defense minister was on the regular media. And he was getting asked all kinds of questions, and he was not doing well with the
which country are you talking about?
Pakistan.
India? Oh, okay.
Pakistan, yeah.
Because India came out and said when they asked him, he said losses will be had.
Yeah,
and it was kind of just a blanket. He didn't confirm it, he didn't deny it. Just said there will be losses, which there will.
So both of the military press releases, whatever, I thought from both sides were well put together. Whether they are authentic or not, I'm not sure, man, to be honest. I mean, JT, did you see it? JT, did you watch a little bit of that?
Well, I mean, I don't believe anything on this because I think China is just going to feed us exactly what they want. Like this is their game. Like first, and now we're messing. Like now we have a player that they are actively very, very angry with because we're about to move all our manufacturing to India. Like, of course they're gonna they are gonna flood us. Like you gotta think 4D here. Like, and that's like. All my friends that constantly like send me article after article every day of like, oh my God, did you see this? I'm just like, just stop, man. Like you are their exact target. Like China is flooding us with millions upon millions of pieces of social posts and written media. They're paying our own reporters to write things they want written. Like they are using our First Amendment against us. Like, and just don't be the freaking spreader of that shit. And so it's like with this situation right here, that sounds exactly like China just going, oh yeah, Pakistan shot down 7 of their other planes. Like,
well, dude, that's actually a great point because one of the things Gonky, you and I have talked about, and I mentioned it on the show, India. Remember we talked about the big buy? They said nope, no Block 3 Super Hornets or whatever Super Hornet they were going to get. They went with the Rafale.
Mm-hmm.
China is trying to sell J-10s and J-20s and all their newest fighters, JF-17s and the PL-15, because that's the export version. And they're going, look, we shot down a Rafale. We shot down Russian equipment. Like, dude, China could not ask for better PR, like JT's talking about, with what Pakistan's coming out and saying. But then the guy goes, I'm not saying the Rafale is bad. Like, he adds his little trash talk. He's like, I'm not saying the Rafale is bad. I'm just saying the tactics are bad. The pilots aren't good. Like they love to, throw in jabs here and there. But from what you're saying, JT, from a Chinese perspective, dude, I mean,
this is a machine for them. Yeah.
Yeah. We just sold, I mean, it's like race on Sunday and sell cars on Monday. We just sold a whole bunch of new jets.
I think literally in that article somewhere, it says like the shares for the company that make the J10 like spike 30%.
Yeah. Xingdu.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
Dude, but from a American perspective, it's an intel trove. Any of this stuff, dude, we're learning so much about. I guarantee you somebody's in a vault somewhere going, oh yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the people in the vaults know exactly what has happened. But like I said, man, as far as us and the people on the outside, like I could
no idea.
I was watching a bunch of stuff. I'm like, this doesn't pass the sniff test, for me. So I don't know.
Believe anything on Twitter.
Well,
don't believe anything anywhere. Unless you've seen it.
in the official brief, what got me was how many times he was repeating. He's like, and we killed him, and we have to know that we killed him because I wouldn't be lying to you. Like he's like selling me a car. He's like, well, but we know the position, and that's how we know. So it's like we know because I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
he had
you're
exact
trying a little too hard to make me believe this and repeating it too many times. Versus, most briefs are like, and then we had 2 air-to-air kills today, and that was at this bearing at DME, and then they just move on. Like,
show me HUD tape. It's like quick. There it is.
Yeah, it's a PowerPoint. We watched a PowerPoint.
Yeah, but I whatever's going on over there. I mean, there's the history between India and Pakistan, and it's basically it's over land or water. And I honestly think at the end of the day, man, most of your Indian citizens and Pakistani citizens, they're just normal people like trying to make a living and protect their families. And you got to feel for them.
What? What are we fighting about?
Right.
I don't get it.
So I don't know.
The tea is fantastic, was what they'll say. They'll always put that in the comments. The tea is fantastic. Because when the one guy got captured, he got shot down, they're like, hey, how were you? Oh, the tea is fantastic. And like they made a movie about it.
Who's got a good Scott O'Grady joke?
Yeah. I heard if you point your M9 at your rescuers, it helps. It helps them identify that you're, because nobody else has an M9.
That's right, dude. Run at the helo with your pistol.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to the audience, and then we've obviously kept JT longer than.
He's got a war to fight upstairs, Mover.
I have this mental image of Mover and Luna doing such a call with Luna dragging the dog. That's back to the thing. Hey, you like Airwolf, JT?
The movie?
And
the series,
the TV show, the best show in the history of all hell.
The series.
Oh,
the 80s.
All right. Well, all right.
Listen,
I've got
I'm just saying, if we've got a little extra
you've
budget,
never seen Airwolf?
Perhaps we could build us one. I'm just pitching that to you right now. We could build an Airwolf. I'll fly it. And you can stay at home and watch it, so you don't have to leave your house.
Run it in the house.
You never watched Airwolf? You just crushed Mover's entire world. Honestly, dude, you need to binge watch
3 seasons.
Season 4. Yeah, skip 4.
Just the first 3 seasons.
It's just 80s awesomeness, man.
Do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Done.
Wow, that hurts my soul. Tim says, are you tracking angry cops in the Buffalo schools?
Yeah, you definitely need to have him on for that.
I'd have angry cops on. He seems like a cool guy.
You need to see what those boys have stirred up over there.
I've seen on Twitter. That's the only place I've seen and his videos. But yeah,
it's good. They're doing good work.
See, we need to get an activism there, Gonky. We need to uncover something.
Hey, that one's pretty safe. It's about kids' safety. So I mean,
everybody agrees,
Yeah, everybody's down
except for the school people.
Yeah, the school people are busy flipping off. The board member last night was like cursing out, flipping off the board. It's wild.
Neo says, just a friendly greeting from China. There you go.
Oh wow.
Hey,
he's at work right now.
Oh boy, that's right. His job is to watch this show on Monday.
Yeah. Hey, tell us what they said that was good.
Bridge, $1 toward the gold, one Navy bet.
Yeah. That I could start a jet.
Nice. Hammerby says there are 2 slightly damp F-18s that you can bet the Navy you can steal. Become the wet boy of your dreams.
Oh man.
Well, there are 3 if you know how to put one back together.
Yeah. One's been disassembled for you.
Rapid unscheduled disassembly. Right. Ryan asked, in your opinions, what is the best rifle caliber ever made?
Is in my opinion?
Yeah.
30 millimeter depleted uranium.
That is a rifle to barrel. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like 6 barrels on that gun, right?
Yeah.
6 or 8.
Gonky, quick, identify this round.
I can't, dude. 20 Mike. No, it's 30 millimeter or 30-06.
Seriously.
No. That's 5.56, isn't it? I don't know.
300 blackout.
See, he doesn't know Airwolf, but he knows his rounds. It's subsonic 300 blackout OTM. That's because I play Ready or Not. And I was like, I need that for home defense.
Yeah.
Crazy Pete says JT just scored some cool points. Well, then he lost him when he didn't know Airwolf. So,
oh, come on.
All right, man. That's recoverable.
Yeah. Next time, I want a full report. Nicholas says 9 out of 10 coffee. Awesome. I love it.
You're now going to see all these grades, by the way, on all these aviator
We've
pages.
probably been seeing them all the time, just never knew what it meant.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Fridge says ESSP is a great CH-47 pilot backflip getaway.
Yeah. SB.
SB.
Yeah, expensive sim, shitty pilot.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's JT.
Ryan says, then taxiing a helicopter. When taxiing a helicopter, how far do you keep from general aviation aircraft to not damage them? Well, you don't fly over them. That's frowned upon.
Or under them.
Yeah, not under or over. Away, just to keep your rotor wash from affecting them. Neo says, I forgot, as my donation from China, I have to pay 100% tariffs. No. They reached an agreement today.
Yeah, you're not paying the tariffs.
It's like 20% now.
We're friends
slower,
again.
But we'll take that.
We're friends.
Yeah, we're friends again. We're all friends here. And Wicked Spider Black says, Mover, did you tell JT about the VR movable seat? Yeah, I've got the DOF Reality. So I've finally got the VR working. So we'll have to do some digital combat simulator.
Fridge has the movable seat, and then I put him in the co-pilot seat of a helicopter, and I fucking fuck up the tail rotor so it just shakes him to death.
Dude, it'll do that. When I do iRacing, it's like whiplash. It's terrible. Well, sir, we appreciate your time and your service to our country. It has been an amazing 2 hours.
Yeah, it just flew.
I don't know if we passed our check ride. Probably not, but
what are you talking about? This thing moved. That's your grading criteria is the dead space, and it's when, especially like when you have a guess that gives like the one word answers, like that's when you're like, oh no. What am I gonna do?
Next question.
Yeah.
Well, either way, we appreciate you. You are always welcome back anytime. We need to collaborate on things in the future.
Your invitation to come out here and see because after this week you'll have your own sim.
I'm trying to get Gonky to ride with me. Doug, you want to go? You never met Doug, by the way.
Nerd ops with JT.
Nerd ops with JT.
Well, I have a third station too, and you can play AWACS. They can just sit there and tell us where all the bad guys are.
Hot, heavy, hostile.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
see?
Commit.
Single group.
Commit. I love
Gorilla.
Yeah.
Texas isn't far. Even San Antonio is not that far.
You're up in between, right? Near Austin? Like up in the...
I'm in Bernie. Yeah. Near Dripping Springs.
Oh, yeah. Bernie Stage Field.
Yep.
I've flown into there. Yeah. Awesome. Well, cool. Buy your coffee, probably. It probably helps support the JT. What is that?
Sim Fun. It's just a sticker that says Black Rifle Coffee.
Well, I got that too. I got the Mover and Gonky show. We've got merch here. Gonky's wearing the polo shirt.
Yeah.
So you know why we have that polo, JT?
Oh, dude. This is
what we're going to do. It is sad because if Gonky hadn't gotten old on us all of a sudden, we were going to go reenact the Chips opening. Have you seen Chips?
Yeah,
you haven't seen Airwolf, so
we're just checking.
We had a guy. They had a police department invited us out. They're like, "Hey, come do the bike course, and then we'll reenact the Chips thing." And
we got the shirts.
We got shirts. We got matching shirts. We were gonna get the tight pants.
But we had, dude. It wasn't just my health problems. It was,
No, it was yours.
Was it?
I
thought the instructor had a thing.
Yeah, maybe, but I like to blame you. Don't the third party, dude. Don't bring other people's. It's HIPAA. You can't do that with other people.
Being a motorcycle shirt, like, what is this?
For a pen.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not a motorcycle shirt.
Yeah,
dude.
it's a
That's
golf
polo shirt.
Is it? I don't know. I was going to use it for a motorcycle.
motorcycle
I was going to use it for a motorcycle cop shirt. So
it's for your
shirt.
pin.
Dude, I don't have. Okay, I guess
just like your flight suit.
It's
Oh, you need the flap because you're a Navy nerd. I got it.
Like my pen's falling out.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Let me see one more time. Neo said one more thing. Just for fun, Chengdu is now famous for J10, Panda, and Hot Chick. What a place.
Dude.
This dude's funny.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're
getting a call from OSI, NCIS.
Yeah, where's that paper? What's his name again?
Agencies. Yeah, we're gonna have to report this. All right. Well,
thanks, JT, man.
Thanks, awesome. JT. You guys have a good night. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you.
Folks.